So after talking about like why we need more Mummy films, I decided, you know what? Let's give some Mummy film love right now. So we're going to talk about some of my favorite Mummy movies. I can't really say 10 because there isn't enough for 10. Unfortunately, there isn't really enough for, 10 Mummy movies. So yeah, we're just going to go through and talk about like some Mummy films I really enjoyed. So yeah, as always, this isn't like a top 10 list. Like I said, I don't think I can crack 10 Mummy films. So, let me know in the comments below what are some of your favorite Mummy movies. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So starting off, let's just get the big three out of the way. The Mummy, the Mummy, the Mummy. It's a little confusing. So, Universal Monsters, Boris Karloff, Mummy. We'll start with that one. Obviously, it's a classic. It isn't my favorite of the original Mummy films. I will say that. It isn't my favorite of the original Universal Monsters. In fact, I'd probably rank it pretty low if I was to do like a ranking of the Universal Monsters. But I will say that it is still a solid horror film. It's actually kind of creepy when you look at it. Although you could make the argument it is basically a retelling of Dracula. So therein lies kind of the problem, honestly. So, what else? What else was I going to say? Yeah. What more can I say about and Boris Karloff is just awesome as the Mummy. And it also... what else was I going to say? You have for me one of the scariest moments in films, at least for me, where it's that opening scene where the Mummy like opens his eyes, pulls down the thing after being freed from the sarcophagus, and just picks up the scroll of Thoth. You don't see the Mummy do that, but it's just the guy laughing in mad hysterics as you just see the mummy bandages just kind of slowly pull themselves away. And at the end of it, he's just laughing in absolute mad hysterics, and he's just like, he went for a little walk. It's such a haunting scene, and one of the best scenes in my opinion, horror. It's just subtle terror, without a scream or a jump scare or anything like that. So yeah. Next up, The Mummy, 1999, the Brendan Fraser Mummy. This is a great adventure film. Without a doubt, one of the best adventure films of all time. It made basically a meme, a franchise, and everything else. This movie is fun. It has bits of horror to it, and it's just a great rewatchable movie every time. It is so rewatchable again and again and again, and just so much fun. And very quotable, too. It is a very quotable movie, in my opinion. What more can I say about that? About 1999 Mummy? And then finally, Hammers, The Mummy. A great gothic film that features Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee as the Mummy. And the two of them they're great. They also have a lot of energy to this film. There's also, it showcases rather than the original 1930s Karloff movie. In here, the Mummy actually gets around and moves, and you see, and it's actually not like the Karras films where it's kind of Here, it's legit. It's there's this legit form of terror and tension to the Mummy, and that's more than likely because of Christopher Lee's performance. So that's so I think it lends itself to that. It's a great film, and something I always like to come back to whenever I can find it on Tubi or something. So yeah. So now that we've gotten the big three out of the way, let's talk about some other Mummy movie recommendations real fast. Starting off, The Mummy Returns. It's funny enough, and I've always said this, is that I've seen movies out of order. I've always seen movie franchises out of order. So I am going to, it's going to sound so funny, but one of the things that I always found funny was that I saw The Mummy's Revenge, and I had it on VHS for years before I even saw the first movie. Yeah, I literally saw The Mummy's Revenge over and replayed it a lot because I literally, I don't know why we got it either. We never saw the first movie, so I was going in like half cocked and all that. I know the Mummy Returns, excuse me, not Revenge of the Mummy. That's the ride. But The Mummy Returns is, you could easily say it's an inferior sequel to the original Mummy film. But the thing of it is, it's fun. Like, it's still quotable. It still has a lot of like fun action to it. And while they do reuse a lot of stuff from the original film, there is like a legit like having fun here. It isn't as scare. It doesn't have the same scares in there, and it's more of an action film. But it's fun. Is it good? No. Is it better than Dragon Emperor? Yeah. It's way better than the Dragon Emperor. I will say the kid rescuing, the having a kid thing, that was dumb. But still, and the Mummy animated series that it spun out of was also pretty good too. Anyway, moving right along to The Awakening. This is another movie with Christopher Lee in it, and also has Charlton Heston. And in here, Heston plays a archaeologist who digs up a mummy named Kara, and her resurrection is connecting into his daughter's life. It's more of a tension, spellbound kind of film. I personally think it's very tension building. I would love to own it on Blu-ray. I would absolutely love to own it on Blu-ray. I've seen it. It's really fun, and it's an adaptation of Bram Stoker's Jewel of the Seven Nile. It's more tension filmed, and it's not great, but it is like an enjoyable film. And I know I've said that a lot in this video, but that's kind of where we come from for these movies, is it's not great, but it is enjoyable. That's the thing. Anyway, so there you go. Next up is, I'm going to go back to Hammer with The Mummy Shroud. The Mummy Shroud is one of their last Mummy films. I think they only did 4, and there's actually a lot of great tension and horror here. The Mummy design will take you aback and make you think, oh, this is kind of crummy and looks bad. But it's actually based off of a mummy that was found in the 60s. So there is some historical logic there. It's it almost feels like a slasher film, really. And I really do enjoy like the tension of it. There's also a lot of great father-son conflict there. I think it's a lot of fun, and it's a very underrated later Hammer film. Anyway, moving on now to The Tale of the Mummy. I talked about this in the previous video. The Tale of the Mummy is another one that this one is going to depend on how much you're willing to accept that the mummy in question is just a bunch of flying wrappings in the air. Yeah, but there's a lot of great gore. It's actually surprisingly gory for a mummy film, and there's actually a lot of great like a pretty decent late 90s, early 2000s mummy film. And like I said, we have some actually like character actors in here. We have Gerard Butler for a brief moment. Again, we have another rounding applause for Christopher Lee in another mummy film. He seems to be on a lot of those. And we also have Sean Pertwee in here as well. So there's a lot of like solid cast in here. But again, the mummy, whose name is Talos, it's going to depend on how much you're willing to like accept what is essentially flying toilet paper as your enemy. Anyway, next up for the next mummy, for the last one, I'm going to say it's not really a mummy movie. It's a part of the story where it is Lot 249. I think that's how it's called, from Tales of the Dark Side. This is an adaptation of a short story from from Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, the creator of Sherlock Holmes. And it has Steve Buscemi bringing this mummy to life to get revenge on people. The mummy design is really cool, and I love how there's campiness and like creepiness simultaneously within it. Yeah. Anyway, so there you go, guys. Those are just a few mummy movies I really enjoy. And as you can see, we couldn't even reach it to 10. But yeah, you guys tell me in the comments below if there's any, and I haven't seen every mummy movie, because I know a lot of them aren't good. But if you do know a mummy film that you like and would recommend, let me know in the comments below. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the multiverse.